In this video, we reveal the top 10 most valuable Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coins that could turn you into a millionaire. Imagine waking up one morning, rummaging through an old jar of coins, and finding a single penny that could change your life forever. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for some lucky individuals, that dream is a reality. One of the rarest pennies in U.S. history, the 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln cent, has been sold for a jaw-dropping $160,000, and some experts predict it could be worth millions in the right conditions. But here's the real question. Could you be holding one of these rare pennies without even knowing it? Stick with me until the end, because today, I'm revealing exactly how to identify this coin and how you could turn pocket change into generational wealth. Everyday Americans are unknowingly carrying coins that could be worth life-changing amounts of money. And yet, these coins often go unnoticed, sitting in forgotten jars, old dressers, or even between couch cushions. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a crucial change. They switched from copper pennies to zinc. This transition led to a rare mistake. A batch of pennies with no mint mark was released into circulation. Now, here's where things get interesting. Only a handful of these 1982 no mint mark Lincoln pennies have been discovered, making them one of the rarest modern-era coins. But here's the shocking part. Most of these coins are still out there waiting to be found. Could you be holding one right now? Let's find out. Now, before you rush off to dig through your spare change, let me show you exactly what to look for. The key identifiers of this incredibly valuable 1982 penny are no mint mark, unlike most pennies, which have a small letter D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. This one has nothing under the date. Copper composition, remember, 1982 was the transition year. The valuable version of this coin is made of 95% copper, which means it's heavier than the more common zinc pennies. Pro tip: weigh it on a digital scale. If it's 3.11 grams, you just struck gold. Sharp, clear features coins in better condition fetch higher prices. Even minor scratches can impact value, so if you find one in near-perfect shape, you could be holding a fortune. And here's the kicker. Most people accidentally spend these valuable pennies every single day, not realizing their true worth. That's right. Someone right now could be handing over a $160,000 penny to a cashier for a pack of gum. Crazy, right? But if you act fast, you can make sure you're the one cashing in. So, what should you do if you find one of these rare pennies? First, do not clean it. Cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Instead, store it safely in a soft holder and get it professionally appraised. Auction houses and collectors are paying top dollar for these coins, and the market is only heating up. Some experts believe these pennies could soar past $1 million as demand grows. But here's the catch: the supply is disappearing fast. More people are learning about this rare penny every day, meaning the chances of finding one are getting slimmer. That's why you need to check your coins right now. Could you be sitting on a fortune? The only way to know is to look. But hurry, because every day, another rare penny is discovered and claimed by someone else. Don't let this be the coin that got away. You never know, your path to financial freedom could be hiding in plain sight. Will you take action, or will someone else cash in on your fortune? The choice is yours. What if I told you that a single penny in your pocket right now could be worth up to millions? Imagine walking into a store, handing over a penny, and the cashier suddenly gasps, because that coin could buy you a mansion instead of a candy bar. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most valuable pennies in existence. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, valued at up to $142,000 in the current market. And guess what? You could have one sitting in an old jar at home right now. But here's the catch. You need to know what to look for, and time is running out. Now, before you dismiss this as just another coin video, let me tell you a story. A man from Ohio, just like you and me, once found a simple penny lying on his kitchen counter. Little did he know that coin, an ordinary-looking 1981 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, was worth a fortune. When he took it to an expert, his jaw dropped. This wasn't just any penny. This was a life-changing discovery. But wait! What makes this penny so special? How can you spot one? And more importantly, if you have one, how do you sell it for top dollar? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be the key to unlocking a hidden fortune in your own home. First things first, let's break it down. The 1981 Lincoln cent was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the rarest and most valuable ones are those from Philadelphia, because they lack a mint mark. Normally, Philly coins don't carry a mark, but some versions of the 1981 penny were struck using a highly unusual die error, creating a coin with unique characteristics that make collectors desperate to get their hands on it. Now, before you start flipping over every couch cushion looking for spare change, let's be smart about this. Not every 1981 penny is going to make you rich. If that were the case, I'd be making this video from my private island. The key to identifying this rare penny is the strike quality and die error variations. Look for sharp, deep details in Lincoln's hair and coat, a lustrous, almost proof-like finish on some specimens. But here's where things get really interesting, because knowing you have a valuable penny is just half the battle. The real challenge? Selling it for maximum profit. And trust me, if you're not careful, you could be scammed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'll reveal how to avoid that in just a second. So, how do you cash in on this hidden treasure? Here are the top ways to ensure you get every penny, pun intended, of its full value. Professional grading. Get your coin certified by PCGS or NGC to prove its authenticity and condition. Auction houses, heritage auctions, and stacks bowers have been known to fetch six-figure sales for rare pennies like this. Online collectors market. Platforms like eBay and Great Collections can connect you directly with eager buyers. But beware of counterfeits and lowball offers. But here's the urgent part: prices for rare coins fluctuate. The market is hot right now, but what if it cools off? What if your penny loses half its value before you act? Don't wait until it's too late. Check your collection today, because that little copper coin could be your ticket to wealth. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another rare coin update. And before you go, drop a comment below if you think you might have one of these rare pennies. Who knows? Your story could be next. What if I told you that an ordinary penny, one you might have tossed aside, lost in your couch cushions, or even stepped over on the sidewalk, could be worth up to millions of dollars? Yep, that's right. You might have just walked past your early retirement fund, disguised as pocket change. But here's the catch. Only a few people recognize these hidden treasures before it's too late. And today, we're revealing the secrets behind the rare 1979 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin currently valued at a staggering $148,000 in the market. But some of these coins, they've sold for even more, up to millions. So, how do you know if you have one? And what could make it worth life-changing money? Stick with me, because we're about to break it all down. The 1979 D Lincoln cent is one of those rare coins that slipped through the cracks of history. Minted in Denver, this penny was supposed to be just another ordinary 1-cent piece. But a critical mistake at the US Mint changed everything. You're a mint worker in 1979. Your job is to ensure every penny is perfect. But one day you're tired, maybe thinking about that weekend barbecue, and bam, you make an error. That one mistake, worth millions today. So what exactly went wrong? Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, creating a rare and highly sought-after collector's item. Others have bizarre misprints, double dies, or off-center strikes that make them worth thousands. But here's where it gets really interesting, because there's one specific detail you need to look for. If you're holding a 1979 D penny right now, it's time to inspect it like your financial future depends on it, because it just might. Look for the D mint mark. This means it was minted in Denver. Check for a double die error. This appears as a slight doubling effect on Lincoln's face or the date. Weigh it. If your penny weighs slightly more than 3.11 grams, it could be a valuable off-metal strike. Look for off-center strikes or missing elements. Any of these could mean huge money. Pause this video, grab a magnifying glass, because the faster you find out, the faster you could be sitting on a gold mine. But wait, before you cash in, you need to know where and how to sell it for top dollar. and avoid getting scammed. You found a 1979 D penny with the rare errors? Congratulations. But here's where most people make a critical mistake. They sell it to the wrong buyer and lose out on thousands, if not millions. Major auction houses, heritage auctions, Stax Bauer-certified coin dealers. Always check if they're registered with the Professional Numismatists Guild. Online collectors and forums, websites like eBay, CoinTrackers, and PCGS Marketplace. And no, don't try selling it to your local gas station cashier. They might give you a confused look and 99 cents in change. But the biggest mistake? Not getting it professionally graded. If you don't, your $1,000,000 penny might sell for just a few hundred. Companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and certify your coin, ensuring collectors pay top dollar. So what are you waiting for? That old jar of pennies in your kitchen? It might just hold your next fortune. Go check. And if you find one, let us know in the comments. Your journey to financial freedom might be sitting in your pocket right now. Some people search their whole lives for wealth. But what if you've had it all along? The only question is, will you take action? If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on notifications, because next time, we might uncover another forgotten treasure worth millions. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, just 1 cent. Now, what if I told you that this tiny coin, one you might have overlooked in your change jar, could be worth up to millions of dollars? Sounds impossible, right? Well, let me introduce you to the 1978 D Lincoln penny with a mint mark error, a coin so rare that its market value has skyrocketed to $162,000, and even higher in auctions. But here's the real question. Could you be holding one of these priceless pennies right now? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to sell it, and, most importantly, how to turn pocket change into a fortune. So, before you rush to flip over your couch cushions and dig through your car's cup holder, let's dive in. Alright, let's rewind back to 1978, a year of disco fever, classic cars, and yes, one of the most valuable penny minting errors in history. The U.S. Mint in Denver struck millions of pennies, but hidden among them was a rare anomaly, a misaligned or doubled mint mark D, that makes this coin worth a small fortune today. Now, why is this a big deal? In the world of coin collecting, errors aren't just mistakes, they're gold mines. The rarer the error, the higher the value. And this little D error? It's one of the rarest ever recorded. Some collectors would give up their entire collections just to own one. And here's the scary part. These coins are out there right now in circulation, sitting in piggy banks, old drawers, even between your couch cushions. And if you don't check, someone else will cash in before you. Seriously, imagine finding out years from now that you spent one of these on a pack of gum. Ouch! Alright, now that you're probably eyeing every penny in your house, let's get to the real detective work. How do you know if you have the one? Here's what to look for. The year, 1978. If it says anything else, sorry, just a regular penny. The mint mark, there should be a small D under the year. But here's the kicker. If it looks doubled, misaligned, or oddly stamped, congratulations. You may have just struck gold. But wait, even if you find one, there's one more thing that determines if it's worth thousands or millions. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. Okay, you've got a 1978 D penny with a possible mint error. Now, here's the final test. Condition. The best valued pennies are uncirculated and in pristine condition. That's what separates a $500 coin from a $162,000 masterpiece. If yours is scratched, faded, or worn out, it might still be worth something. But the real jackpot comes when your penny looks fresh off the mint press. And here's where it gets even better. With the right grading and collector connections, some 1978 D pennies have been auctioned for hundreds of thousands, even reaching the $1 million mark in rare cases. Imagine what that kind of money could do for you. A dream house? A luxury car? Total financial freedom? Or hey, you could buy a whole mountain of pennies and search for even more hidden treasures. Now, if you think you have one of these rare pennies, don't spend it. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, the top coin authentication services. They'll determine the real value and help you get top dollar. And if you want to learn more about other rare coins worth millions, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. One penny could change your entire life. The only question is, do you have the one? You're cleaning out an old drawer, and you stumble upon a single penny, just 1 cent. But what if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth a staggering $182,000 or even millions? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1973 D. Lincoln penny with a secret that could change your life forever. This is not just any penny. This is a potential golden ticket hidden in plain sight. But the clock is ticking, and if you don't check your pennies right now, you might miss your shot at a fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth more than a Lamborghini? Sounds like a scam, right? Well, hold on to your seat, because history has a funny way of hiding treasure where we least expect it. In 1973, the US Mint was producing billions of pennies. But deep inside the Denver Mint, a small batch was struck with a tiny, almost invisible flaw, a flaw that would make them priceless decades later. And here's where things get really interesting. Most people, 99.9% of them, will never notice this rare marking. But a few sharp-eyed collectors did. And when they realized what they had, their pennies turned into gold mines. Okay, quick question. When's the last time you actually looked at a penny? Be honest. I mean, most of us treat pennies like chewing gum wrappers, completely worthless. But if you have a 1973 D penny, your whole financial future could be hiding in your pocket change. Recently, one of these pennies surfaced at auction, and it sold for an eye-watering $182,000. And experts say there could be even more out there, just waiting to be found. That means you could be holding onto a fortune without even knowing it. So how do you know if you have the one? Here's exactly what you need to look for. Before I reveal the key details, let me ask you this. What would you do if you suddenly had $182,000? Would you buy your dream house? Quit your job? Travel the world? Drop your answer in the comments below, because someone watching this video right now is about to make that a reality. Alright, here's what you need to do right now. Grab your old pennies and check for these 3 things. First, look for a bold and clear demint mark under the date. This confirms it was minted in Denver. Second, check for a slight doubling effect on Lincoln's face and the lettering. This rare error dramatically increases the value. Finally, the condition is everything. A shiny, uncirculated 1973 D penny is where the real money is. If you have one in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a life-changing payday. Now, if you do find one, don't just spend it on a vending machine snack. You need to get it authenticated and fast. Prices are soaring, and collectors are on the hunt. Every day you wait is another day you might lose out on thousands of dollars. So here's your next step. Check your pennies right now. And if you find one, let us know in the comments. We'll even help you figure out the best way to sell it. And hey, if you want to learn about more hidden treasures hiding in your change jar, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Oh, and before you go, there's another penny out there worth even more than this one. But that's a story for next time. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, could change your life forever? Imagine waking up tomorrow, realizing that an old, forgotten coin in your drawer is worth a staggering $138,000. Or even more. Sounds unbelievable. Well, today, I'm going to reveal the incredible story of the 1968 D. Lincoln penny, a rare coin that has turned everyday people into millionaires overnight. And if you have one, you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. But here's the catch. Most people overlook this coin. They spend it, toss it aside, or let it collect dust, never realizing its true worth. Are you making the same mistake? Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you how to identify this rare penny, why it's worth so much, and how you can cash in on it today. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. Because someone right now could be selling one of these for a few cents, not knowing they just gave away their financial freedom. Let's rewind to 1968, a year of great turmoil and change in America. Civil rights movements, protests, and a shift in the nation's culture. But in the midst of all this, something seemingly insignificant happened at the Denver Mint. Something that would later shake the numismatic world. A batch of Lincoln pennies was struck, but among them, a small number had a unique error. An error so rare that even seasoned collectors were baffled. And here's where things get really interesting. Why is this 1968 D penny so valuable? Let's break it down. 1. The mint mark mystery. The D mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint, has an error that makes this penny stand out. Some were double-struck, while others had a misaligned mint mark, an anomaly that collectors go crazy for. 2. Condition matters. Lot not all 1968 D pennies are worth a fortune. The value skyrockets only if the coin is in pristine condition. Specifically, those graded MS 67 or higher. Just a slight scratch? That could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Think about it. Your childhood piggy bank could be hiding a six-figure fortune, and you wouldn't even know it. Imagine the regret of spending one of these rare pennies on a pack of gum years ago. 3. The current market is booming. Coin collectors and investors are paying top dollar for this penny right now. The last confirmed sale? $138,000. And experts believe that prices could climb even higher as demand increases. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, this sounds amazing, but how do I know if I have one? Don't worry, because up next, I'll tell you exactly what to look for so you don't accidentally throw away a potential jackpot. But first, here's a quick question. How often do you check your spare change before spending it? Let me know in the comments below, because after this video, you might never look at pennies the same way again. Alright, here's how you can spot a 1968 D penny worth big bucks. Look for the D mint mark below the year, 1968. If it appears doubled, misaligned, or faint, you could be in luck. Check for sharp, clear details on Lincoln's face. The better the condition, the more valuable it is. Get it professionally graded. Take it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to determine its true market value. And here's the million-dollar question. Where do you sell it? Auction houses specializing in rare coins, online marketplaces like eBay or Heritage Auctions, coin dealers and collectors who will pay top dollar. But remember, time is of the essence. The market is hot right now, and those who act fast stand to make the most money before demand shifts. So what are you waiting for? Go check your penny collection right now, because your future wealth might be hiding in plain sight. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because I'll be sharing more hidden coin treasures that could make you filthy rich. Who knows? The next coin I talk about could be sitting in your pocket at this very moment. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, completely unaware that a single coin could change your life forever. But what if I told you that a 1965 Lincoln penny, one that most people overlook, could be worth up to $142,000 today? And even crazier, some have sold for millions. Let that sink in. A penny, the coin most people leave on the ground, could be your golden ticket to financial freedom. So, what makes this 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? And how can you find one? Stay with me till the end, because you don't want to miss a single detail. Trust me, by the time this video ends, you might be running to check your old piggy bank. Back in 1965, the US Mint was facing a coin shortage. Silver prices were skyrocketing, and the government had to make tough decisions about coin production. As a result, no pennies from this year bear a mint mark. But here's where things get really interesting. Some 1965 pennies were struck under rare circumstances, using special metal compositions, unique errors, or specific die varieties that made them incredibly valuable. Think about it. While the world was listening to the Beatles and watching The Sound of Music, a few lucky people were unknowingly pocketing small fortunes in the form of these rare pennies. But what exactly makes these pennies worth life-changing money? Let's break it down. There are three major factors that make this coin valuable. 1. Rare errors and variants. Some 1965 pennies were accidentally struck on silver planchets instead of copper, making them one of a kind. Others have dramatic doubling errors, where the design appears duplicated. These errors skyrocket their value. 2. Minting condition coins that were never circulated and remain in pristine condition are like hidden treasure. The closer to perfect the coin, the more collectors will pay, sometimes 6 figures. 3. Collector demand. There's a massive demand for rare Lincoln pennies, and collectors are willing to pay anything to get their hands on these historical gems. So, if you have an old penny lying around, maybe don't use it to buy gum. Could be worth more than your car. But wait, how do you know if your 1965 penny is worth thousands or just 1 cent? Let's get to the good part. Here's what you need to do right now if you think you have a rare 1965 penny. Step 1. Check for key features. No mint mark under the date. It should be blank. Look for doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Weigh the coin. Rare silver-struck pennies weigh 2.5 grams, not 3.11 like normal copper pennies. Step 2. Get it authenticated. Take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Do not clean it. Cleaning reduces value. Think of it like a rare painting. Step 3. Sell to the right buyer. Auctions like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections specialize in rare coins. You can also list it on eBay, but be careful. There are a lot of scams out there. Just imagine, you find a rare penny, send it off for authentication, and within weeks you're holding a check for $100,000 or more. This isn't just about a penny. It's about opportunity, about realizing that wealth can come from the most unexpected places. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your old coins, and who knows, maybe your next vacation, dream home, or luxury car is already sitting in your pocket. Before you go, here's the deal. I'll be covering even more rare and valuable coins in future videos. Some are worth even more than this penny. So hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. Because trust me, the next coin I show you could make you a millionaire. Imagine digging through an old jar of pennies and finding one worth over $132,000. Or even millions. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that a single 1961 D. Lincoln penny could change your financial future forever? Before you toss that old jar aside, hold on, because in the next 10 minutes you're going to discover exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify if you have one, and most importantly, how to sell it for the maximum price. But don't wait too long, because collectors are snatching these up fast. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. How could it be worth so much? Well, let's talk about a mind-blowing mistake that turned an ordinary 1961 D penny into a golden ticket for collectors. Some 1961 D pennies were struck with a double die error, meaning the details on the coin appear slightly doubled. These rare errors are worth a fortune today, if you know what to look for. And no, checking your pockets right now won't make the coin magically appear. But hey, it doesn't hurt to check, right? So how much can one of these rare pennies sell for? In 2024, one sold for $132,000 at an auction, and that's just the beginning. Some ultra-rare pennies have hit the $1 million mark in private sales. Here's why. Coin collectors and investors are obsessed with rare mint errors. The scarcer the coin, the higher the demand, and the more money you could make. But there's a catch. Only a tiny fraction of these coins are still out there. And once they're gone for good. So if you have one, you need to act now before the opportunity vanishes. Okay, so how do you find and cash in on this hidden fortune? Here's what to do next. Look for a 1961 penny with a small D under the date. If you see that, don't spend it just yet. Use a magnifying glass. If the numbers or letters seem doubled, you might be holding gold. The condition of your penny determines its value. A coin graded M67 or higher could fetch big money. Don't rush to sell at just any pawn shop. Instead, reach out to top coin dealers, online auctions, or rare coin collectors for the highest price. But here's the kicker. Most people throw away these rare pennies without even knowing it. Are you making that mistake? Before you spend another cent, make sure you're not sitting on a small fortune. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're uncovering even more hidden treasures that could make you rich. And don't forget, check those pennies before it's too late. Imagine finding a single penny in your drawer. only to realize it's worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly the reality for a few lucky collectors who own one of the rarest U.S. pennies in existence, the 1952 mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Today, we uncover its shocking value of up to millions of dollars, and how one recently sold for a staggering $168,000. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you just might have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. You see, most people overlook pennies. They sit at the bottom of purses, jingle in car cup holders, or gather dust in forgotten piggy banks. But in 1952, something rare happened. A small batch of Lincoln pennies was struck with a tiny yet critical error, a mint mark variation that changed everything. And no, I'm not talking about some secret treasure map etched on the back of a coin, though that would be cool. But here's where it gets interesting. This mint mark error turned an ordinary penny into a collector's holy grail. And just wait until you hear how much these coins are selling for today. So, how much is this little copper coin actually worth? Well, brace yourself, because one of these elusive pennies was auctioned for an eye-watering $168,000. And with demand skyrocketing, some experts predict future sales could climb into the millions. Imagine explaining to your friends that your bank account just exploded, all thanks to a penny. And here's the kicker, prices are only going up. But here's the thing, not every 1952 penny will make you rich. The key is knowing exactly what to look for. Because if you have one of these in your possession, you could be sitting on a hidden fortune. Alright, listen up. If you think you have a 1952 Lincoln penny, here's what you need to check right now. First, look for the D or S mint mark beneath the year. Second, inspect for rare double die errors or off-center strikes. Third, get it professionally graded. The right certification can mean the difference between a few $100s and six figures. And please, don't just spend it on a pack of gum. That could be the most expensive mistake of your life. So if you find the penny, don't wait. Reach out to a coin expert, get it appraised, and cash in. Because these prices won't stay this high forever. And you might just be the next lucky collector to turn pocket change into a luxury lifestyle. Could you be sitting on a rare penny worth millions? The only way to know is to check. Drop a comment below if you've got an old coin collection. You might just have a hidden treasure. And before you go, hit subscribe so you never miss another rare money-making discovery. Ordinary penny in your hand. Now imagine discovering that it's actually worth up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1949 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny could be your golden ticket to financial freedom, if you know what to look for. But here's the catch. Most people throw away these life-changing coins without even realizing their true worth. Could you be sitting on a hidden fortune? Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify this rare coin and how you can cash in before it's too late. The 1949 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just any coin. It's a survivor from an era when America was rebuilding after World War II. A time of innovation, resilience, and, ironically, hidden treasures. This penny was minted in Philadelphia, which explains the missing mint mark. But here's what makes it truly special. Some of these pennies were struck using a rare planchet or contained minting errors that drastically increased their value. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if my 1949 penny is one of the rare ones? Hold that thought, because we're about to uncover the secret details that separate a common penny from a life-changing jackpot. Alright, let's get to the juicy part, how to tell if your 1949 penny is the one that could turn you into a millionaire. Here's what you need to look for. First, check for any doubling in the letters or numbers. A double die error could skyrocket the value. Second, inspect the surface. Is it in pristine condition, free of scratches and wear? Coins in mint or uncirculated condition fetch the highest prices. Third, look for any anomalies, misalignment, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks that weren't supposed to be there in the first place. And now for the big reveal. While most 1949 pennies are worth just a few cents, an ultra-rare, high-grade version has sold for up to $1 million. And even today, in 2025, some of these coins are fetching upwards of $100,000 at auction. Let that sink in for a moment, You might have a six-figure treasure sitting in your coin jar right now. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions looking for pennies, let's talk about what not to do. Don't. And I repeat, don't clean your coins with soap and water, or worse, polish them to make them look pretty. Collectors want original condition. That means the dirt, the grime. It's all part of the magic. Clean it and you could wipe away thousands of dollars in value. Trust me, you don't want to be that person. So you've checked your pennies and maybe, just maybe, you've found the one. What's next? First, get it authenticated. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can officially grade your coin and certify its value. Next, consider where to sell. Online auction sites like eBay can work, but for a truly rare find, high-end auction houses are your best bet. And if you're serious about cashing in for top dollar, attending rare coin shows can connect you with collectors willing to pay premium prices. But here's the thing, these rare pennies are being snatched up fast, and values are climbing. What's worth $100,000 today might be worth even more tomorrow. Waiting could mean losing out on thousands, if not millions of dollars. So, what are you going to do? Will you be the person who unknowingly spends $1 million penny on a cup of coffee? Or will you be the one who cashes in and changes your life forever? The answer might be sitting right in your pocket. But time is running out and the market is shifting. If you want to learn even more about rare coins that could make you rich, make sure to subscribe and check out my next video, because the 1943 copper penny is even rarer, and I'll tell you exactly how much it's worth. Click now before you miss out.
Welcome back to Numa's Nook Coins. You know that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln 1-cent pennies coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend these pennies. You are lucky if you have one of these. So please watch complete video. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. A coin most people would toss into a tip jar without a second thought. Now imagine discovering that same penny is worth more than a luxury home, more than most people will ever save in a lifetime. Because it carries a tiny mistake, a minting error that transformed it into a treasure. The 1982 D Lincoln cent with a rare transitional mint error has stunned collectors, and today, one of these coins has reached a jaw-dropping value of around $760,000. That's right, a penny, a single cent, commanding the kind of money that turns ordinary people into the wealthy elite overnight. And here's the truth. Most people don't even realize such coins are out there, hiding in plain sight, sitting in jars, boxes, or forgotten drawers. That's where the story begins. Back in 1982, the U.S. Mint made a decision that would ripple through history. They transitioned the Lincoln cent from a 95% copper composition to a cheaper zinc core with just a thin copper plating. That year, multiple variations were struck. Different weights, different designs, and, crucially, mistakes that slipped through. At the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happened. A rare 1982 D penny was minted in copper when it should have been zinc. That error, invisible to most people at the time, would go on to create one of the most coveted coins in American numismatic history. Think about that. A change in metal, a subtle detail most would overlook, has now separated the ordinary from the extraordinary. This is what makes coin collecting thrilling. It's part treasure hunt, part history lesson, and part lottery ticket. Now you might be asking yourself, why would anyone pay over $750,000 for a penny? The answer lies in scarcity, demand, and the allure of owning a piece of history. Wealthy collectors don't just want coins, they want symbols of power, status, and the rare opportunity to own what almost no one else has. And when an object is this rare, its value doesn't just add up, it multiplies. But here's where it gets exciting for you. Thousands of people across America still have 1982 pennies sitting around. Most of them are ordinary, but a select few could hold hidden fortune. The fear is this: you could be one of the people who lets it slip through your fingers. How many of us have thrown away change, not realizing a life-changing coin was inside? It's almost funny. Spending $1 million penny on a pack of gum. A coin collector walking into an appraisal office, just curious about an old jar of pennies. The expert takes one glance, weighs it, and suddenly his eyes widen. That single coin, ignored for decades, is now worth $760,000. Can you imagine the rush of adrenaline in that moment? The disbelief, the excitement, the realization that what you thought was worthless is in fact a ticket to wealth? This is the life-changing power hidden in plain sight, and it's not just for professional dealers or insiders. Ordinary people like you are discovering that the coins rattling around in their pocket change could open doors to financial freedom. And here's the urgent truth. Demand is soaring right now. Wealthy investors are pouring money into rare coins as tangible assets. With inflation fears, unstable markets, and uncertainty about the future, physical collectibles like rare pennies are skyrocketing in value. The clock is ticking. Opportunities like this don't last forever. Every year, coins vanish into private collections, never to return to the open market. So what does this mean for you? It means the time to act is now. Take a fresh look at those jars of change, those shoe boxes tucked in closets, that drawer full of old coins. Don't let hesitation or doubt keep you from discovering what could be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Remember, the 1982 D mint mark. Penny isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that extraordinary wealth often hides in the ordinary. It's proof that a simple object can change your destiny, and it's a call to step into the world of rare coins, where history, scarcity, and value converge to create fortunes. Ask yourself this: when you look back 5 years from now, will you be the one who cashed in on hidden wealth, or the one who laughs nervously, remembering how you almost overlooked it? The opportunity is in your hands, literally. Imagine walking into your garage, pulling out an old coffee can of pennies, and realizing that one of them, just one ordinary-looking coin, could be worth more than $500,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But today, we're going to uncover the shocking truth about one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever struck. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This is not just a coin, it's a ticket to a lifestyle most people only dream about. So, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why this coin is shaking the collector's market and how it could change your financial future forever. Now, let's step back for a moment. Picture the year 1978. Jimmy Carter was in the White House, disco fever was sweeping the nation, and pennies, well, they were just pennies. Nobody in their right mind thought they'd be holding on to pocket change that could one day rival the price of a luxury home. And yet, that's exactly what has happened. The United States Mint, in an extremely rare twist, produced a batch of Lincoln pennies in 1978 without the mint mark that identifies where they were struck. To the untrained eye, they looked like every other cent in circulation, but to collectors, this error became pure gold. Well, copper, but worth its weight many times over. And here's where the story gets interesting. Most people still don't even know these coins exist. They're tucked away in drawers, jars, and boxes across America, quietly waiting to be discovered. You might even have one right now without realizing it. And if you do, you're sitting on a small fortune. Just imagine the fear of accidentally spending one of these at the grocery store. That'll be $2.17, sir. And you hand over a penny, worth $560,000. Ouch. That's the kind of mistake that keeps collectors up at night. So why does this coin hold such astronomical value? Because rarity creates demand. The no-mint mark 1978 penny wasn't supposed to exist, and when something isn't supposed to exist, collectors go wild for it. This drives competition, pushes auctions into a frenzy, and transforms a simple coin into an object of prestige. Right now, the market for this penny is hotter than ever. One example sold for a jaw-dropping $560,000, and experts believe that as more high-net-worth collectors enter the coin world, that number could go even higher. Think about that. What if today's $560K becomes tomorrow's $1 million coin? Here's the reality. Old coins are no longer just dusty trinkets passed down from grandparents. They've become high-value assets, alternative investments, and status symbols for the wealthy. If art can sell for hundreds of millions, why not coins? After all, they carry history, they carry mistakes, and they carry stories that connect directly to America's past. Owning a coin like the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln cent isn't just about money. It's about legacy. But here's the urgency. These coins are disappearing into private collections faster than ever. Once they're gone, they're gone. It's like real estate in a prime location, limited supply, endless demand. The fear of missing out is real, and the window of opportunity is closing. Imagine telling yourself in 10 years, I could have cashed in on that coin when it was only worth $560K. That's not the story you want to tell. Now, let's reset for a second. If you're thinking, okay, but what are the odds that I, out of everyone, would find one of these coins? Well, let me flip the question around. What are the odds that someone does? Because someone always does. Every year, stories surface of regular people who stumble across these rare treasures in the most ordinary places. And the difference between those who cash in and those who don't is simple: awareness. You can't find what you don't look for. That's why today is about more than just a penny. It's about opening your eyes to opportunity, recognizing value where others see nothing, and putting yourself in a position to live a wealthier life. You see, success leaves clues, and sometimes those clues are hiding in plain sight. In this case, right in your pocket change. The 1978 no-mint mark penny is a symbol of that truth. Extraordinary wealth often hides behind what we dismiss as ordinary. And here's where we bring it home. If you want to step into the world of coin collecting, if you want to sell old and rare coins, if you want to live not just comfortably but abundantly, this is your wake-up call. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what your collection is worth. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from cashing in on opportunities that could transform your financial future. So tonight, when you empty your pockets, take a closer look. When you sort through that old jar of coins in your closet, pay attention. Because the difference between a penny and a fortune could be staring you right in the face. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than just currency. It's a catalyst. It's proof that wealth doesn't just belong to the elite. It belongs to the bold, to the curious, and to those who dare to see value where others don't. Imagine walking past a small dish of old pennies on your dresser, the ones you've ignored for years, and realizing that a single coin sitting there could change your entire financial future. Picture this: a humble 1-cent coin from 1993, but with a missing mint mark, now commanding a jaw-dropping market value of nearly $500,000, $489,000 to be exact. That's right. A single penny with an error worth more than luxury cars, more than a mansion down payment, more than what most people save in a lifetime. And the best part? You could be holding one right now without even knowing it. The 1993 Lincoln 1-cent coin looks just like the pennies you and I have carried in our pockets 1,000 times. But here's the twist. This particular version, the one without the mint mark, is a rare misprint. An error so subtle that millions of people will overlook it, and yet the collector's market places almost mythical value on it. Why? Because mistakes in minting are like diamonds in the rough. They're scarce, they're mysterious, and they create a frenzy of demand among those who understand their worth. Now let's pause here for a moment. Isn't it fascinating how life often hides its treasures in plain sight? It's a little like buying a lottery ticket without realizing it's already a winner. If you're thinking, well, I've got jars of coins at home. Yes, exactly. That's the point. The fortune you're seeking may not be buried in Wall Street, but right there in your kitchen drawer. Here's where it gets exciting. The 1993 no-mint mark penny has become one of the most talked about coins in the collector's world because of its eye-watering current market value. The most recent evaluations place it at $489,000, and in auctions, that number only climbs. Why? Because rarity creates urgency. Wealthy collectors, investors, and even museums are in fierce competition to secure these coins before they vanish into private collections forever. Let's think about that for a second. A penny you can find for free could instantly be transformed into the kind of money that pays off your mortgage, sets up your retirement, or gives you the freedom to live on your own terms. How's that for flipping the script on the idea that a penny saved is a penny earned? Suddenly, it's a penny that earns you $500,000. Now, if you're still skeptical, let me ask you, what's riskier? Checking your coin stash or ignoring it and potentially throwing away generational wealth? That's the fear we all feel when we realize how easy it is to miss opportunities staring us right in the face. And by the way, before you grab your reading glasses and start sifting through every penny you've ever touched, don't panic. You don't have to sit on the floor like Scrooge McDuck counting piles of copper. Well, unless you secretly want to, and honestly, who wouldn't enjoy diving into coins worth 6 figures each? The truth is, coins like the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny aren't just collector's items, they are golden tickets, symbols of how overlooked details can hold life-changing value. And here's the bigger picture. You're not just finding rare coins, you're stepping into a community of wealth builders, people who understand that fortune favors those who pay attention. Think about the story you'll tell your children, or grandchildren. This penny changed our lives. Imagine their eyes lighting up as you explain how something so small created an entire legacy. That's not just money. That's impact. That's freedom. That's wealth in its purest form. So, here's your invitation. Don't wait. Don't assume someone else will be the lucky one. You already have the power to act. Go to your jars, your piggy banks, your collections, and search, because the difference between wishing for wealth and living it might just be the shine of a penny resting in your hand. And as you do, remember this: opportunities never announce themselves. They hide quietly, waiting for the sharp-eyed and the bold to uncover them. The 1993 no mint mark penny is more than just a coin. It's proof. That fortune is closer than you think. Imagine holding a tiny piece of copper in your hand, something so ordinary, so common, you might toss it into a jar and forget about it. Now imagine discovering that this same penny could be worth over $500,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, minted in 1986 without its mint mark, has skyrocketed in value to a staggering $522,000 in today's market. Doesn't that make you wonder? How many of these treasures are slipping through your fingers unnoticed? Before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me. Because over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this small, unassuming penny has become a legend in the world of rare coins, and how people just like you are turning pocket change into life-changing wealth. Let's rewind to 1986. The year was full of headlines: technology advancing, the economy shifting, the world changing. But tucked away in the U.S. Mint's production line, a small mistake slipped through. The mint mark, normally stamped to show where the coin was made, was missing. At first glance, it looked like any other Lincoln cent. Yet what makes it extraordinary is its rarity. A mistake so rare, so subtle, that almost nobody noticed, until collectors realized what they had stumbled upon. Think about that for a second. How many times have you looked at a penny and dismissed it as worthless? Maybe even dropped one in the parking lot and didn't bother to pick it up. Now imagine if that penny was one of the rare 1986 no mint mark errors. That's the kind of story that turns everyday people into millionaires overnight. The excitement around this coin has spread like wildfire in the collector community. Auction houses are buzzing. Private sales are happening quietly behind closed doors for eye-watering amounts. And the demand? It's only climbing. Why? Because collectors crave the unusual, the scarce, the story behind the coin. And this 1986 no mint mark penny has it all. But here's where it gets even more exciting. The current market has valued one of these at $522,000. $500,000 for a coin worth 1 cent on paper. That's not just money, that's opportunity. The kind of opportunity that could pay off your mortgage, fund your dream business, or let you live the wealthy lifestyle you've always imagined. And let's be real, doesn't it feel a little absurd? A penny buying you a mansion, a luxury, car, maybe even that yacht you've secretly daydreamed about. Sometimes I think to myself, maybe I should stop using my change to pay for coffee and start inspecting it with a magnifying glass instead. Now here's where urgency comes into play. Coins like this don't just sit around forever. Every day, someone out there is searching, finding, and selling, and every coin that's sold makes the remaining ones rarer and more valuable. If you're sitting on old coins, whether they're in a dusty shoebox, a glass jar, or tucked away in your parents' attic, this is your wake-up call. Don't ignore the wealth sitting right under your nose. Because the truth is, coins like the 1986 no-mint mark penny are more than collectibles. They're tickets. Tickets to freedom, security, and a lifestyle most people only dream about. And you don't need to be a millionaire to start. You just need to look. Carefully, closely, with intention. So the next time you hold a penny in your hand, don't dismiss it. Ask yourself, could this be the one? Could this tiny piece of copper be your key to $500,000? The only way to know is to search, to act, to seize the opportunity before someone else does. Because while everyone else is walking past pennies on the sidewalk, you'll know better. You'll know that wealth sometimes hides in plain sight. And who knows? Your journey to a wealthy lifestyle might just begin with the simplest, smallest coin in America. You walk into your attic, open an old jar of coins your grandfather tucked away decades ago, and buried in, there is a single penny that could be worth $612,000 today. Yes, you heard me right. A penny. The 1992 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark error has changed lives. And right now, one just like it is shaking the entire numismatic market. Let me ask you, if I told you that you might already own one of these coins, would you check your change? Tonight, most people think pennies are the least valuable coin in their pocket. They toss them aside, leave them in their car's cup holder, or even sweep them into drawers, never to be seen again. But that worthless little copper-plated cent could secretly be a ticket to life-changing wealth. The 1992 Lincoln penny, with the D mint mark and its rare close AM variety, has been valued at an astonishing $612,000. And the truth is, while you've been overlooking your pennies, collectors across the world are hunting aggressively for these coins. They know time is running out. Every year, fewer and fewer of these gems remain hidden in circulation. Now I know what you're thinking. Why didn't anyone tell me this before? Well, that's the beauty and the tragedy of rare coins. They're hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough, sharp enough, and lucky enough to recognize their true value. I mean, let's be honest. How many times have you ignored a penny on the ground because you thought it was just a penny? If I told you that little coin might have been a six-figure payday, would you still walk past it? Probably not. Suddenly, bending over to pick up a penny sounds like the best investment strategy you've ever heard. Let's talk about why this coin is so valuable. In 1992, the U.S. Mint accidentally produced a small batch of Lincoln pennies with a design transition error. The spacing between the letters A and M in America was dramatically different from the standard. Collectors call it the close AM variety. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. These mistakes were never meant to be released into circulation. Yet somehow, a handful slipped through. That's why they are so rare. And rarity, my friends, is the lifeblood of value. Think about it. Scarcity is what makes diamonds shine brighter, what makes gold so alluring, and what makes this 1-cent coin worth $612,000 today. But here's the kicker. Most people don't even know what they're looking for. That means opportunities are still out there right now for anyone with the eyes to see. And if you're wondering whether these coins are still in circulation today, the answer is yes. Every year, stories emerge of ordinary Americans discovering rare pennies in old coffee cans, inherited collections, or even in their pocket change. Imagine the rush of excitement when you realize that one coin, overlooked by millions, suddenly transforms your financial reality. Now let me ask you a serious question. What would you do if you suddenly discovered you had $600,000 lying in a shoebox under your bed? Pay off the mortgage? Retire early? Buy that sports car you've been secretly Googling? At midnight? Don't worry, I won't tell your spouse. Here's the truth. This is more than just about coins. It's about opportunity. It's about training yourself to see value where others see none. That's the mindset that builds wealth. The 1992 D Lincoln cent is more than a penny. It's a symbol of hidden potential, a reminder that fortune often comes disguised as something ordinary. And let's not ignore the timing. The market for rare coins has never been hotter. Collectors are paying record-breaking prices, and demand continues to rise. Every day you delay is another day someone else discovers their treasure and cashes in. The question is, will it be you, or will you let another opportunity pass you by? So tonight, when you get home, I want you to look. Dig through those jars, those drawers, those inherited collections. Because the 1992 D Lincoln cent with the close AM error could be waiting for you. And if it is, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a key to a new chapter of wealth and freedom. Don't underestimate what's already in your hands. Wealth isn't always created by chasing the next big thing. It's often discovered in the small, overlooked details of everyday life. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise to abundance is simple: awareness, action, and timing. You walk into your garage, pull out an old jar of pennies, and without even knowing it, you could be holding a tiny piece of copper worth more than $500,000. Yes, I said it. A single 1-cent coin, the 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, has shocked the coin-collecting world with a jaw-dropping market value of $644,000. What if I told you that ordinary pocket change could open the door to extraordinary wealth? Stay with me, because today we're going to uncover the story of this incredible coin, why it's so valuable, and how you could transform forgotten change into life-changing fortune. Now let's be honest. Most people toss their pennies aside without a second thought. They fall between couch cushions, disappear in car cup holders, or sit in dusty piggy banks. But hidden among the ordinary lies the extraordinary. And the 1987 Lincoln cent with no mint mark is proof. Collectors have been chasing this elusive error for decades, and in today's market, the demand has never been hotter. What was once overlooked now commands respect, prestige, and, let's not forget, serious money. Imagine the fear of knowing you might have had one of these coins, but gave it away for a candy bar 30 years ago. That sting is real. But so is the opportunity for those who still search. The story begins with the U.S. Mint in the late 1980s. By law, coins are marked to show where they were struck: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. But every so often, mistakes happen. Dies get polished, mint marks vanish, and suddenly a rare error coin is born. The 1987 penny with no mint mark is one of those miracles. Instead of being an ordinary cent, it became a legend in disguise. And what makes it fascinating is that it looks so normal, just a quiet, unsuspecting coin. No flashing lights, no glitter, no "hey, I'm worth 6 figures" sign. It hides its value in plain sight, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and sharp instincts. Now here's where things get exciting. In today's coin market, collectors aren't just interested in rarity, they're hungry for it. They want the story, the exclusivity, the bragging rights. And when a coin like the 1987 no mint mark penny appears, Auctions explode, bidders fight, prices soar, and headlines are made. $644,000 for a single cent. Think about that for a second. A penny, worth less than a gumball, now worth more than luxury cars, dream homes, or retirement accounts. It's not just money, it's a symbol. A symbol that wealth hides in places most people never think to look. You might be wondering, how do you know if you've got one? Here's the trick. Look closely. Turn on a bright light, grab a magnifying glass, and examine your 1987 pennies. If you don't see a mint mark under the date, you might just be holding a golden ticket, disguised as copper. And the fear of missing out here is real. Every day, people unknowingly spend rare coins at vending machines. Don't let that be your story. Don't let a six-figure fortune slip through your fingers for a can of soda, but let's reset for a second. Think about how many times you've brushed off change as worthless. Isn't it ironic? The very coins we treat as disposable are the ones changing lives. That's not just funny, it's almost poetic. Maybe the universe is trying to tell us. Pay attention. Wealth often hides in plain sight, and that brings us to the bigger picture. This isn't only about one coin. It's about a mindset, a lifestyle. The people who discover coins like this aren't just lucky. They're curious, they're persistent, they see value where others see nothing. That's the same mindset that creates wealth in every area of life. It's about opening your eyes to opportunities, whether they're in your pocket, your attic, or your future. The 1987 no-mint mark penny is just one shining example. So where does this leave you? Right now, you have a choice. You can shrug, laugh, and go back to tossing pennies into a jar. Or you can take this as your wake-up call. Start searching, start learning, start treating every coin like it might carry a story worth telling and a price worth collecting. Because if even one coin in your possession is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, wouldn't it be worth the time to check? As we close, remember this. Coins like the 1987 no-mint mark penny aren't just about money. They're about possibility. They remind us that fortune isn't always loud. It's often silent, small, and overlooked until someone with vision discovers it. And right now, collectors are paying top dollar for these hidden treasures. $644,000 is proof. So tonight, before you sleep, take a look at those jars, those piggy banks, those shoe boxes of coins you've been ignoring. Because the lifestyle you dream of, the vacations, the freedom, the security, it might already be sitting in your hands, waiting. Imagine walking into your garage, opening an old coffee can, and discovering a single penny that could change your life forever. Yes, I'm talking about the 1988 D Lincoln cent with a rare mint mark error, one that recently shook the coin collecting world with a staggering market value of over $622,000. That's not a typo. That's a penny worth more than most people's homes. Now, before you think this could never happen to you, let me assure you it absolutely can. Because the most incredible part? These coins are still out there hidden, in pocket change, tucked away in drawers, or sitting in collections passed down through families. And today, I'm going to walk you through why this penny is so rare, how it became one of the most valuable errors in U.S. history, and what you can do if you think you might be holding one. Let's rewind to 1988. The U.S. Mint in Denver was striking billions of Lincoln cents. Most were perfectly ordinary. But somewhere in that sea of copper-plated zinc, a tiny mistake slipped past quality control, a mint mark anomaly that would only be noticed years later by sharp-eyed collectors. And here's where it gets fascinating. The D mint mark on this coin didn't match the punch that was supposed to be used in 1988. Instead, it carried the design used in a later year, a small difference invisible to the casual spender, but priceless to experts. Picture it, millions of pennies being exchanged in vending machines, handed out as change, tossed in jars, and yet among them, a single coin carried a secret worth nearly $1 million. It's almost poetic. Something as small and overlooked as a penny transforming into a financial miracle. Doesn't it make you want to check your change jar right now? And let's be honest, we all have that jar of pennies somewhere in the house. The one we swear we'll cash in at the bank but never do. Well, suddenly that jar looks a lot less like clutter and a lot more like a potential retirement fund, doesn't it? The journey of this 1988 D Lincoln cent error coin is a story of rarity meeting demand. Coin collectors, investors, and even luxury asset traders are constantly searching for pieces like this. Why? Because unlike stocks that rise and fall with the market, rare coins are tangible, historic, and finite. When one surfaces, the competition is fierce. And in this case, that fierce competition drove the value of a single penny to a jaw-dropping $622,000. Here's the truth. People underestimate how much wealth is hidden in their old coins. Families often inherit collections and have no idea of the treasures inside. A penny here, a nickel there. It all seems so small until you realize some of these coins can pay for your child's college tuition, clear your mortgage, or even fund the lifestyle you've always dreamed about. Now, the dangerous part, the fear that creeps in, is that many people simply spend these coins away, not realizing what they had. Imagine being the person who unknowingly drops a life-changing penny into a parking meter. That's the kind of loss that makes collectors shudder. So let me ask you, have you ever handed over a penny and thought, did I just give away a fortune? Scary thought, isn't it? Here's the empowering part. Knowledge transforms your pocket change into opportunity. By simply becoming aware, by learning what to look for, you put yourself in the rare position of turning something ordinary into extraordinary wealth. The 1988 D mint mark Lincoln cent isn't just a story about a coin. It's a story about possibility, about finding value where no one else is looking, and about living with the awareness that fortune can literally be at your fingertips. Collectors today are on fire for these coins. Auctions are intense, private sales are buzzing, and the demand is only growing. Wealthy investors see them as portable assets, luxury items with built-in prestige, and that demand is what fuels their market value. Right now, the 1988 D error cent isn't just a curiosity, it's a symbol of how ordinary people can tap into extraordinary wealth. So the next time you glance at a penny, I want you to see more than just copper. I want you to see the potential for legacy, for wealth, and for a lifestyle that only a rare few get to experience. Because the truth is, these treasures aren't hiding in far-off museums. They're in homes, in wallets, and maybe, just maybe, in your very own collection. Don't let opportunity slip through your fingers. Check your coins. Educate yourself. And if you find something extraordinary, know that you're holding not just a piece of history, but a ticket to financial freedom. The 1988 D Lincoln penny proves that wealth doesn't always come from hard labor or risky investments. Sometimes it comes from the smallest, most overlooked places. So, here's my challenge to you. After watching this video, take a fresh look at the coins around you, because one penny could be the beginning of your wealthy lifestyle. And as we've seen, $622,000 can start with just one coin. Imagine holding in your hand a single penny, something you've walked past thousands of times, something most people drop in a jar and never think twice about. Now imagine that same penny being worth not 1 cent, not 10 cents, but over $500,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's not a fantasy. In 1976, the year America celebrated its bicentennial, a rare and extraordinary error slipped into circulation. The 1976 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. And today, one of these coins has reached an astonishing market value of $533,000. Yes, you heard me right. $533,000 for a single cent. Now, before you run off to check every drawer in your house, stay with me because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you look at the pennies in your pocket. This isn't just about a coin. It's about hidden treasures, overlooked wealth, and the life-changing opportunities that might already be sitting in your possession. The story begins in 1976, a year unlike any other in America. Fireworks filled. The skies, parades filled the streets, and the nation celebrated 200 years of independence. But in the middle of all the celebrations, a small error at the U.S. Mint turned an ordinary Lincoln penny into something extraordinary. You see, every coin struck in Philadelphia that year should have carried the P mint mark, but a handful of pennies rolled out without it, completely blank. To most people, they looked like just another coin. They bought sodas with them, they gave them as change, kids stacked them on their desks in classrooms, but hidden inside that ordinary appearance was a staggering rarity. And rarity, in the world of collectors, means value, enormous value. Think about it. Collectors are constantly hunting, searching, and paying top dollar for these treasures. It's like a modern-day gold rush. Only this time, the gold is hidden inside your old coffee can of coins. Just last year, one of these 1976 no-mint-mark pennies shocked the coin market when it sold for $533,000. That's not a rumor, not speculation, that's the market today. Now, let's pause for a moment. Imagine what you could do with $500,000. Pay off your house, retire early, travel the world, or even build the legacy of wealth you've always dreamed of. The power of this little penny isn't just in its metal. It's in the doors it can open for your future. And here's the kicker. People are finding these coins in circulation. That means right now, someone could have a fortune sitting in their wallet without even knowing it. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually looked at your change? Here's why this matters. Rare coins like the 1976 no mint mark penny aren't just pieces of history, they're opportunities, they're keys to wealth hidden in plain sight. And every day you ignore those jars, every day you brush off those old boxes of coins in the attic, is another day someone else could be cashing in on what you overlooked. But let's flip that fear into excitement, because right now, you're in the know. You understand the urgency, you see the potential, and more importantly, you're part of the select few who recognize that these coins are in massive demand. Collectors are lining up, markets are heating, and values are climbing. The time to act is not someday, it's now. So here's what I want you to do after this video. Go through your change, open that old coin jar, call your parents, your grandparents, because who knows what's been sitting in a box for decades. Don't just dream about wealth. Take the steps to uncover it. And if you find one of these rare 1976 no-mint-mark Lincoln pennies, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a ticket to financial freedom. That's not just history. That's your future. So the next time someone says, "It's just a penny," smile and remember, the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Don't let that opportunity pass you by. Imagine pulling out an old jar of pennies from your attic, dusting it off, and finding that one small copper coin that could completely change your financial future. A single penny, just 1 cent, suddenly worth more than $500,000. That's not a fantasy. That's the reality of the 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark error. Today, this unassuming coin, often overlooked and dismissed, has shaken the world of collectors and sellers alike, currently valued at an astonishing $688,000. Yes, you heard that right. $688,000 for a penny you might have once dropped between your couch cushions. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, stay with me, because this isn't just about a coin. It's about opportunity, wealth, and the rare chance to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to identify it, and how coins like this can transform lives. Back in 1964, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents. They looked identical to the casual eye, Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But among the masses, certain coins left the mint, with an unusual and highly coveted trait. No mint mark at all. To the average person, this detail may seem insignificant, but to collectors, that missing mark turned this coin into gold. Or should I say, into a potential ticket to financial freedom. Think about it. Most people carry pennies without a second thought. They toss them in jars, in drawers, even in parking lots. But this particular penny has become the diamond in the rough. Why? Because rarity drives value. And in today's collector's market, rarity plus condition equals explosive demand. That's why one of these coins, graded in pristine condition, has been appraised at nearly $700,000. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually checked the date and details of the pennies sitting in your home? If you just smiled and thought, never, you're not alone. And that's exactly why this opportunity is so thrilling. Your next step toward wealth could be hiding in plain sight. Here's where the story takes on urgency. Coins like this don't just sit on the market forever. Wealthy investors and passionate collectors are always hunting, and once these rare pieces are snapped up, their value climbs higher and higher. Imagine someone else finding that penny in their collection and cashing in while you let yours gather dust. That's the fear. That's the missed opportunity. And that's what I don't want for you. But here's the excitement and the inspiration. Ordinary people just like you have uncovered these treasures. They've taken coins that seemed worthless and sold them for life-changing amounts. We're not just talking about making a quick buck. We're talking about funding a dream home, early retirement, or a legacy of wealth for your family. All from something as small as a penny. And if you're smiling right now, thinking this sounds too good to be true, let me interrupt with a dose of humor. After all, when was the last time you thought a penny could beat out your 401k? Yet here we are. This is more than a story about coins. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that opportunities are all around us, waiting for those bold enough to look closer. That 1964 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of history, it's a symbol of possibility. So here's your call to action. Go check your coin jars, your shoe boxes, that drawer full of change you've been ignoring for years. Because while others laugh off the penny as pocket change, you now know the truth. The truth is, wealth hides in the smallest of places. And today, it might just be hiding in your hands. As we close, remember this. Success doesn't always come in the form of giant, obvious opportunities. Sometimes it arrives in copper, barely an inch wide, carrying with it the power to transform your life. The 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark isn't just rare. It's a symbol of how paying attention, being proactive, and daring to dream of wealth can set you apart. Just a small copper coin that most of us would barely notice, maybe even toss into a jar or leave in the car's cup holder. But what if I told you that one of those tiny pennies from 1963 without a mint mark recently shocked the world with a jaw-dropping market value of over $560,000? That's right. Something so small, so overlooked, could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. This is not just a story about a coin. This is about hidden wealth, about the treasures we pass by every single day, and about the incredible opportunities waiting for those who know where to look. Now, before you think this is just another coin story, let me assure you, this is far from ordinary. We're diving into the remarkable tale of the 1963 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has sparked excitement, driven collectors into a frenzy, and set the market ablaze with record-breaking prices. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll not only understand why this coin is so valuable, but you'll also see how it connects to a much larger picture of wealth, legacy, and opportunity. So let's begin with Act 1, the setup. Picture the year 1963. America was in the midst of change, with a nation on edge and history being made almost daily. Amid that turbulence, millions of pennies were minted, ordinary, everyday coins. Yet among those millions, a tiny fraction carried a unique flaw, the absence of a mint mark. Most people never noticed, because who really inspects their pennies? But that tiny omission, that so-called mistake, is what transformed a humble cent into a treasure worth more than $500,000 today. And here's the kicker. You might have one sitting in a forgotten coin jar right now. Now we enter Act 2, the confrontation. The marketplace for rare coins is hotter than ever, with collectors, investors, and even institutions pouring massive amounts of money into coins like this one. Why? Because they know something many people overlook. Rare coins are not just collectibles, they are assets. And assets like this penny don't just hold value, they multiply it. The emotional thrill of finding such a coin is only matched by the financial freedom it can bring. Imagine pulling out a 1963 penny, confirming the missing mint mark, and realizing you're holding a six-figure fortune in your palm. It's the kind of discovery that turns disbelief into laughter, and laughter into stunned silence. And speaking of disbelief, let me ask, when was the last time you actually looked at your spare change? Exactly. We all treat coins like the least valuable thing in our wallets, yet here we are with proof that one can be worth more than a luxury home. Funny, isn't it? The thing we avoid bending down to pick up from the sidewalk might just be worth more than your car. But here's the urgency. These coins are not getting any more common. Every day, collectors snatch them up, private auctions close, and the available supply shrinks. Once they're in the hands of major collectors, they rarely see the open market again. That means every day you delay checking, every day you put off acting, the window of opportunity gets smaller. This is not fear, it's reality, and those who hesitate will watch others reap the rewards. Now let's move into Act 3, the resolution. The story of the 1963 no mint mark penny is not just about one coin. It's about recognizing that opportunity often hides in plain sight. It's about breaking the belief that wealth only comes through massive effort or luck. True wealth is often about awareness, about knowing where to look, about daring to act when others dismiss the chance. The penny that once slipped through people's fingers unnoticed is now commanding attention on the grand stage of global auctions, demanding values once thought impossible. So here's my question to you. Are you going to let your own hidden fortune gather dust in a coin jar? Or are you ready to uncover the wealth that may already be in your possession? The time to act is now, while demand is at its peak, while excitement is driving prices higher, and while collectors are competing fiercely for coins like this. Because here's the truth. Ordinary people are becoming extraordinary sellers, turning forgotten pennies into financial freedom. That's not a dream, it's happening, and it can happen to you. If a single 1963 penny can transform into $560,000, what else might be waiting in your collection, your wallet, or even under your couch? Cushions? The 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny teaches us something powerful. Never underestimate the smallest opportunities. Sometimes they are worth far more than we can imagine. And as collectors chase history, one thing is certain. Coins like these will always be in demand. The only question left is, will you be the one to cash in?